one of the wine stoppers is showing. I'm just showing that's my little lever. That's how I keep the table, make sure it's all level because I got part A. You mix part A and part B, and it's a you're supposed to be able to demold in 8 to 10 hours, but I still let it sit for 24. Um, and I use J Diction. So I have the molds that I'm using, and the story is, and I got hot pink. My nephew asked me, did I have pink? And I was like, well, I got pink, but I really don't think it's pink on the website. So I'm going to get to mixing. Here's the part A. And I'm doing about 200. I'm doing 100 and 100. So I have enough for all four modes. But I'm going to do what is going to happen as I'm going to be over. So I kind of sped up this part because I'm pouring slow. But what you see is kind of fast. So I'm gonna and it's a 1-to-1 mixture. So whatever you do for the A part, you got to do the same for the B part. And then once you get everything, it kind of looks like, and when you do it, it doesn't show here that it actually mixes on top of each other. And so the B is the hardener. And so with J Diction, with this one, you have about 30 minutes, I want to say, to get everything done. And so 5 minutes, and I speed this part up because you probably just don't want me to see me stirring for 5 minutes, and then I cut the camera off, and then I came back. And so here we are. And it's going to be no swirls or anything. It's going to be completely clear. And what I didn't show on camera is that I put this actually in the J Diction bottles and stuff, the part A, and I put them in warm water because that brand right there seems to have a lot of bubbles. So you can put your stuff in not hot water, warm water, and let it sit. I usually let it sit and I forget about it and I, oh yeah, here I go. And so this is how I clean my stuff. I kind of clean most of my things at the time when I use it. So I'm going to take a wipe. I have a lot of wipes. But I was like, oh, I'm going to wipe down, but no, I didn't want to pour some of the wipe juice in there. So I kind of wiped the other way. I kind of got off the camera. And then I'm going to start making like a little pile of trash that I keep off to the side. But another thing that I do is I have a little bottle of alcohol. I have 91% alcohol that I use for resin projects. I'm not just using it just to clean it. I would miss it, but I'm not going to do it that much with this project. So I'm wiping my stuff clean with the 91% alcohol. And so then I'm going to use that to start making like a little pile of garbage there. So I am going to move all this stuff out the way so I can get started. So what I'm about to do here, I'm about to take my little smaller cups and mix in the chunky glitter. So I'm going to fill this up to the top. I think these little cups are like a 150 milliliters. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I just bought a bunch of cups at one time, but I do keep them clean. So I fill it up till I get whatever to that top line. Because I know with this one, I can at least make two of the wine stoppers out of there. So I'm looking at it because I'm like, oh, it got bubbles. I don't know if that actually pops the bubbles. I just did that. So, and I don't even know why I put the peace sign up, like peace to the bubbles. And so I'm going to take I will say popsicle stick. They call them craft sticks in the store, depending on what store you go to. And I'm putting that. Look at that. That do kind of look like a hot pink there. So I'm going to put some in there and I'm going to mix it out. But I like the color. I'm just telling y'all now. I like this one better than the other one. So, and I keep forgetting that I put my camera on the right side of me so you can't see. So I need to switch my hands to the other side so you can see. So I'm doing a new thing with the camera. I'm putting it on the side instead of over top because every time I put it over top, the camera fall. So I'm mixing slow because I don't want bubbles. I want as less bubbles as possible. And then with this resin, like I said at the beginning, it tends to have a lot of bubbles. So I want to start off with less bubbles, no bubbles. And if I start stirring, I won't have that much to pop in the end or whatever, if anything comes out. So as you can see, it's mixing down, it's getting in there. and I'm mixing and I'm mixing and I'm mixing. But I'm about to start pouring. Yep, and I think I got a good consistency in there, and I'm just trying to see, should I put some more glitter in there? Probably not, because sometimes I just overdo it on the glitter. So that's just me kind of like testing out and see. But since it's going into a mode, it shouldn't be that. So that's the spear. That's the symmetrical diamond one, and so I'm getting ready to pour, and I'm gonna keep forgetting that the camera's on the right. All right, and so would you see me? I'm about to take this stick out of here, but I'm going to start a little pile of trash in the corner there, because I don't use the same stick and the same resin and the same colors or nothing like that. So I just start a little garbage to the side so that everything can kind of have some type of order, and have its place on the table. So I'm going to get ready to pour. The first one is this the spear, not the spear, the round one. And I pour and I'm pouring and I'm pouring and I'm pouring. And also, y'all, I can't see. And then I made a mistake and poured a little bit too much. So I'm trying to take a little bit as I can to take it back out so it won't be overfilled. So yeah, oops. Sometimes we make mistakes. Okay. And so then I'm gonna go on to the next one. The next one, I want to say this is the symmetrical diamond that I'm going to do next. So this one, the first one was the round spear. It's just smooth. It doesn't have any grooves or anything into it. So I move that to the side. And then the next one, I'm going to do the symmetrical diamonds, like the regular. If y'all remember those ring pops that we used to have back in the day, maybe back in my day, but it was the ring pops. That's what it reminded me of. So this shape is the symmetrical diamond. I should name it ring pop, but that's what it is. So I fill up same way, and I probably have a little bit extra. I kind of make just a little bit over just in case. So bam, there it is. And one thing about these modes, the bubble still is there, and they tend to go like float to the top and around the edges pretty much on everything that I make. So I'm trying to move that out the way for a minute, because I need to do the next set. And I'm still messing with the other one, try to get this one set right because I don't want to mess up. I mess up, I don't dump it out or whatever. I just let it set. So okay, so I'm about to get ready to move on to the next one. The next glitter, I'm just moving this back a little bit, trying to, pop the bubbles, but I don't. So I got the Mermaid Pink chunky glitter. I'm gonna do the same thing that I did before. I have a heat gun over there, but I'm not gonna use it because this project is a little bit smaller, so you're gonna see me do that. So in the meantime, I am pouring in like I did before, measuring all the way up to the top, like the top line of this cup, because I have two to fill. I'll probably go a little bit over, just a little bit, not gonna be exact measurements. And the next two that I have is the spear, and the other one is the wide diamond. So the other one is wider than the other one. So you will see me do the same thing. And I want y'all to see this chunky glitter, because to me it's darker. It's a darker pink. This should probably be hot pink, but who am I to say what it is? And see, here we go. Yep, there's the popping the bubbles and that come around. It tends to go around the top, around the edges. So I'm trying to pop them. And so that's the other thing a lot of people don't show is you pretty much got to babysit this stuff until, so it won't, you just don't set it and go away. So here it is. So this the chunky mermaid pink glitter. It just, to me, it just has more iridescent flakes in there, but it's still a nice color. I ain't gonna knock it, but I just like the lighter pink color. So I'm doing the same thing as the day before, just stirring it in, and I just keep forgetting that the camera is on my right side. I was trying to do something new where the camera and the setup that I had would be on the right and not over the top, because I feel like when I do over the top, the phone just falls right into my work. So I'm stirring in slowly, and not to try to get, I just feel like you're going to get bubbles regardless, but just trying to stir in slowly. Here I go blocking the camera again. And we're going to cut that out and see how it looks. It looks darker. It looks, again, more like a berry pink to me. Not a hot pink, but that's how I feel. But it's still a nice color. It's still a nice color. Do the same thing I did before. You see my little trash piling up in the corner there. So I just, at the end, I fold it in and I switch gloves out too sometimes throughout here, depending on how messy it is. But I think I did pretty good. Not a huge mess. So I'm going to fill it up. Again, this is the white diamond that I'm starting with first. I'm going to fill it all the way up to the rim. Oops, I let a little spill. Oops. Because I moved it. I'm still pouring, girl. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it all the way up to the rim. And then I'm going to do the spear, the same thing. At the same time. Because I didn't want no overspillage. The pour for the spear shaped one. The hot pink is going to be at the top and the mermaid pink at the bottom. I still have some resin left over, so I'm just kind of pouring it in there because I'm going to use it with something else, because I just have some molds ready to go on the side. So I'm hitting it with some fire to pop those bubbles. I try to hopefully do less bubbles at the top, so I won't have that much to kind of shave down and stuff like that. I don't want no bubbles actually, but I do what I can. I know how. So then I grab my little toothpick and try to go around there and try to bring the bubbles to the top. You can also, like if I was working with a wider project, you can spray some of that 91% alcohol and it kind of brings some top, but you got to mist it. You can't spray it directly on there. You'll mess your stuff up. So again, just my little pile over there. I'm trying to go around the edges to bring the bubbles to the top, so they won't be on the sides either, because I don't want that either. So I'm going to hit it with the fire again. The fire pops the bubbles and everything, and make sure I don't burn, because I actually have like held that fire too long and I burnt the mold. It happens. So yeah, and then I had some more clear resin left in there. I was Stay tuned for part 2 when I demold everything, okay?